YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, my voice probably sounds like crap, but we're battling through it. We are still getting up at the crack of dawn to do these videos and get these picks out to you guys. And we finally had a decently positive night last night after a couple consecutive, 500, you win some, you lose some type nights. But we did hit last night. We went 2-2 again with our against the spread picks, and only 1-2 with our player props. But that one was the Jakob Portal doubler, and we ended up making a decent amount of change there. So we had a positive units night. We are still 25 and 23 on the season, so that percentage I'm not happy with. Like I've said that in every video, 52% will get the job done, but you're not quitting your day job type of thing. So we do want to get that percentage back up towards the 60s like it was just, I don't know, 5 days ago or so. But we're working our asses off to do that. I appreciate the love in the comments. Like, you guys are awesome. It's never been me saying I'm an expert or, you got to take 100% of my picks. I go through the picks that I like. I feel like my track record has benefited me, right? So I go through the picks I like, but I love the back and forth in the comments. So don't stop that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button too and like the video. And yeah, I appreciate the love on these videos. Like, we're really putting a lot of work. Listen to this voice. Does this voice sound good to you guys? We're getting up early. Right now it is 4:28 a.m., but you got to get these videos out when we can. So before we even get into today's slate, I do want to write on that note. Guys, we're up early doing these videos, so a lot can change throughout the day. When I'm telling you these picks, I'm waiting to see where the line sort of ends up as well. So I'm not getting these games in right away. You got to keep up to date with the pinned comment. Yes, excuse me. Yesterday was a perfect example of that. I was kind of, back and forth on a couple picks, but when I finalized it on the ticket there, that ticket that I ended up putting in the pinned comments was a positive ticket overall. So make sure you are checking that pinned comment if you want sort of the finalized version of my ticket or any additions as well. And, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are taking tonight. Some games that I'm staying away from or I don't know anything about, let me know what you guys are pulling the trigger on. But let's jump right into it. We got October 29th. We have a 7-game slate, and we have a decent amount of action. To come tonight. We have one player prop, and the rest are, totals or against the spread here. So let's jump right into Magic at Raptors. Toronto's opening up at 8-point favorites. That total is 210 right now. My sheet says this is going to go 205 points. That's super, super low, but I think I might trust it here. That's going to be something that I'm going to consider on the total, so I might be considering the under. But I think I'm going to lock in. I am going to watch this number. I don't want it to go any further, past 8 here. Like, if it gets to 8.5, I might actually even buy a half point down to get it back to 8 here. But I really like Toronto -8 in this game. I think that they're finally starting to, I don't know if I should say hit their stride, but their defense is really starting to show in some instances. And I feel like, when you play a team like the Magic, if you can just clamp them up, it's a cakewalk to victory. So I am looking at Toronto -8, and I might even consider the under there. Moving on to the Hornets at Heat. Heat are 6-point favorites. 221.5 is the total. I'm taking the over here. That might be the contrarian pick. All my research, everyone seems to be saying, the defense of the Miami Heat is going to keep this game under. The Charlotte's not as crafty enough on offense to be able to score a bunch of points against this Miami Heat defense. But I look at it as the inverse. You have two unique teams here. You have the #1 defense in terms of defensive efficiency, and then offensive efficiency, you have the #1 offense team. So that, to me, I give a little bit more credence to the pace that can be set by the offense. And here's why. Because I think that Miami Heat can actually sort of keep up with Charlotte here in terms of scoring points. Like, yeah, maybe towards the end of the game, I think the defense might win it. But I think that there's going to be a decent amount of points here. And sneakily enough, both of these teams are top half in pace in pace. So I am going to be taking the over here. Again, I have not seen anyone else take that, but we're going to be riding with that. So if you want to be unique like me, take the over. Or if you want to fade me because I'm a dummy, do that too. But I'm taking over 221.5. My sheet says it's going to go 227 plus. Pacers at Nets. Guys, I'm not touching this game. I can't. I have no idea where the Brooklyn Nets are. Like, where are they? They're going to pop off at some point. They will have a huge game at some point. When's it going to be? Is it tonight? Is it their next game? Who knows? And for that reason, like, I'm out. Like, I can't just bet either against them or for them, not knowing what type of Nets team is going to show up. So until further notice, I am probably fading. In fact, I'm crumpling up that ticket and throwing it so far away. Like, I don't think I'm going to be touching a Nets game unless they start to get disrespected. But at 8-point favorites here, 223 is the total. Like, that just, that screams, oh, they can win this game easily. But I could see the Pacers coming out there and, keeping it to 8. So I'm staying away from that game, staying far clear. Kings at Pelicans. This is probably, you guys have been asking in the comments, like, oh, what's your number one pick? Can you give us your number one pick on the night? I don't usually like doing that because I'll tell you guys if I'm putting more units on one game or something like that. But if I'm putting the same amount of units on each of these games, then, I don't feel overly different about, one versus the other, even if I like it more. But this one I do really, really like. So if there's ever going to be a time I'm like, hey, this is my bet of the day, which we could do if you guys like that. In fact, let's do it. Let's lock this in as our bet of the day. If you're going to play one of my picks tonight, this is probably the one that I like. It's Kings -2 at Pelicans. I think that the Kings are being disrespected here. The Pelicans have been nothing but, a letdown so far, whether it's because of injuries or anything like that. Like, the Pelicans have not looked great, and the Kings are, they're a 500 team, but they lost to the Warriors and they lost to the Jazz. It's crazy. And in both their away games this year, which they're away tonight, they've covered. So I am all over the Kings -2 tonight. Like, that is my favorite play for whatever reason. I feel like Vegas got this wrong. Like, I'm going to put this one in immediately. And, if that line, for whatever reason, ends up going to like 1.5 or 1, or for whatever crazy reason, I'm going to be sprinkling more and more on there. So Kings -2 is that play. And just for, I always give you guys the information I have here. That total is 219. My sheet said this is going to go 222. That's not the biggest margin, so I'm staying away from the total. But if you do want to ride with that, which it is, it's a pretty good formula I got going on there. If you guys have paid attention this year, you can ride that as well. But I do not know if I'm going to be taking that. Next up, Clippers at Blazers. Blazers, 2.5-point favorites. 223 is the total here, 223.5. My sheet has us going 231, so it's giving me a lean towards the over. But this is a tough one. Like, for whatever reason, I feel like, I want to take Portland here. And I think that they can easily cover that 2.5-point spread against a Kawhi Leonard-less Clippers team. But I'm going to wait this line out and see if we can get any more, more of a line move here. So this is definitely going to be one that I'm leaning Portland and the over. But that final line is probably going to be something that either puts me over the edge or not. So definitely make sure to check out that pinned comment, because you could see Blazers -2.5 and the over on that. But if it's not there, I'm not taking it. Mavericks at Nuggets. Nuggets, 1.5 favorites. 220 is the total. Have you seen the potential injuries in this game? Like, it looks like someone fell asleep on the question mark key on your keyboard. Everyone seems to be questionable. You don't know really who's playing. And, for that reason, I'm out. I'm staying away from this one. Staying far, far away from this game. Last game of the night before we get into a player prop. Told you guys I'm sick, but I'm battling through it. Cavs at Lakers. -8.5. 219 is the total. Same thing with the injuries here. Like, we see a lot of injuries. AD, LeBron, Rondo. Like, these guys are all questionable. This Lakers team seems to be in disarray. Like, they're so dysfunctional right now. If none of those guys play, I actually might lean Cavs +8.5. But if the line drops significantly because those guys are ruled out, then I'm probably sticking away from this. But, yeah, check the pinned comment for that, because I think if it's a healthy-ish Cavs team going up against a Lakers team that's really relying on Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook, then I will take that 8.5 points all day long. But that's totally dependent on where that final line comes out after the injury report. So that is what I have for you guys from an against the spread standpoint. We do have one player prop tonight, and who knows if it's even guaranteed. This is one that I feel like you're getting bang for your buck on, and it's a contrarian pick. So I don't know if you guys will like it, but it's something I'm rolling with. And it's, if he plays, he's probable right now. But Kyle Lowry, over 14 points, might have been 14.5 when I looked at it. He hasn't screamed like, oh, I can score 14 points this year. He's got 5, 9, and 9 in 3 games that he's played in. But we're getting some big time plus money with that. So if you can get the plus 140 odds or plus 150 odds like I was seeing, definitely pull the trigger there. But I am gonna wait to see if he's definitely playing before I even put that in, obviously. So keep an eye on that in the pinned comment. And I'm throwing in like the player props, my thought process. My brain's not functioning for player props as well at 4:30 in the morning, right? So those are ones that I can definitely add to the ticket within the pinned comments. I'll try and explain myself if that helps as well, but definitely keep an eye on the pinned comments, guys, because that'll be my final ticket. That'll be any additions or, you know, things I want to yank out of here. Like we've done that before too, where I give you a pick at 4:30. I think the Lakers one is the best example. Give you a pick at 4:30 a.m. You know, 7 hours later, LeBron James is ruled out. So I say, hey, do not take the Lakers here, and ended up benefiting. So keep an eye on the pinned comments, guys. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Appreciate all the comments, even if you guys are haters, but we're out here having fun. We're doing our best with our picks. So if you're a hater, welcome. I love you too. Hopefully you're fading me then and winning money if I lose. So we will talk to you guys in the next video. Let's make some money. Let's go.